You might think buying a home for under $100,000 is impossible. It's not. These families say swapping their city lives for a tree change is the best decision they've ever made, and not just because of all the cash they've saved.
We have a lot of inquiry coming in on the cheaper properties from people from well out of the area. It's actually booming.
With Melbourne a lockdown ghost town, a record number of families are packing up, swapping the big smoke for country living, where you can buy a home for less than the cost of a luxury car. Welcome to one of Australia's most affordable towns, Oyen, 5 hours drive from Melbourne. In the age of a pandemic, the country never looked so good.
Just recently I've sold 3 here in Oyen, all people coming from Melbourne.
Paid this cash and don't owe anyone any money. Best thing I've ever done.
Retired disability worker Philip Bowens is the latest city slicker to join a mass exodus.
My friends can't believe it, that I've actually paid for this style of house $90,000.
This lifetime renter used his super to buy his first ever home in a single transaction.
I can't believe I can walk to the supermarket, walk to the bakery, walk to the butcher, and walk to the post office, walk everywhere.
It just got so out of hand for money, for the rents, and we decided that's it, we'll bite the bullet, come up here, buy a house, retire up here.
Around the corner, grandparents Greg and Carol Symes, who say they've never looked back since their $92,000 purchase.
Here in the country, you get to know everybody. You can go up the street and you can talk to half a dozen people in the shop and they all know you.
Their block so big, there's plenty of room for Greg's caravan, where he broadcasts a morning show over the local radio.
Good morning, my chickens. You've got Green on your egg here, right on Power Country.
There's a few of the old places need a little bit to work on, but if you get them for a good price, which you can, then you can spend a few bob on and do them up.
Real estate agent Ian Myers from Burns & Co says he's been inundated.
We thought it might have been the opposite. We thought we may have gone very quiet.
From families to retirees, cashing in their capital city abodes for country dwellings, leaving them a wad of cash in the bank.
Over the last couple of years, we've seen a number of people move from Melbourne, selling their modest 3-bedroom cream brick veneer for $800,000, $900,000. Move up here and buy a 3 or 4 year old home for $350,000 and pocket $500,000.
Here, Ian says you can snap up a large family home for less than a tenth of the median house price in Melbourne, just over $881,000. This 3-bedroom listing recently went under the hammer for $63,500, boasting a butler's pantry plus a shed and all the furniture included in the sale.
I had over 20,000 hits on the internet.
And it's not just owner-occupiers going bush.
Also investors are getting a great return for their money.
This shop has just changed hands in rural Victoria.
The chap from Newcastle has purchased it for $85,000. He thinks it's a terrific investment because it is returning $200 a week rent, and that's a better return than he can get in the bank.
So, is this just a short-term symptom of tough city lockdowns, or will the tree change become a lasting trend as housing becomes increasingly unaffordable?
We're in the eye of the storm of a pandemic, so it kind of makes sense that people are thinking, well, is there an alternative? And, you know, the greatest work from home experiment globally is kind of giving a lot of people for the first time the idea that maybe they can actually do their job from home. Buyer's agent Bryce Holdaway is co-host of the Property Couch podcast. The big question for me is in 2 or 3 years' time, will people still have that same energy and enthusiasm for it? Because there is a really strong cultural pull to be close to the bigger cities with, you know, sport and art and everything that's on offer. But those who've already bit the bullet say there's no looking back.
Fantastic, go for it.
Well, according to Domain, while the pandemic might have initially sent buyer demand down, it's now actually up. compared to last year in every city except Melbourne.